You know, for all the wrong reasons, Sony's been in the news a lot lately.
Yeah.
You know, you want to be in the news. You don't want to be in the news for the wrong reasons. And everything Sony has been doing lately has just gotten them into trouble. Like everything from the fact that they just had what was the name of the UK Sky TV or whatever it was in the UK that they lost their license with. So that meant that a lot of people who have Sony accounts on PlayStation and have bought episodes of television or some movies, they bought them. They're gone now. Just gone. Too bad. So sad. Then Sony came out and said, well, you know what? Starting in a year or two, we're not going to make physical discs anymore. And I get it. I do. I understand it. I get it. And the trend of people actually buying physical discs has been dropping, but there's an important aspect to being able to buy and own those physical discs. And now Sony's saying, nope, those are going to be gone now. Well, that's got a lot of people upset. So much so that people have now been looking into the terms of service of Sony and buying movies and buying TV shows and your games, whatever, through the PlayStation platform. And they've discovered that within the terms of service, Sony reserves the right to delete your account. And that includes anything you've bought, movies, episodes of television, seasons of TV, games, of course, if you're not logged in after 3 years. Now, understandably, some people are very, very upset about this, and I get that, but I do want to make sure, because you're seeing a lot of things. Sony says they're going to delete things. Okay, before I dive into it, though, I want to bring up a couple things that are important to keep in mind, some context for this, okay? Number one, this is not new. This has actually been there in their terms of service for a while. It's just being highlighted right now because of all the other stuff going on with Sony, deleting content, saying they're not going to put out physical things anymore, so you're going to have to rely on them digitally. But this has been there already. Second piece of context, Sony's not the only one that has this. Apparently, Xbox also has this in their terms of service. So that's an important thing to keep in mind as well. Another thing to keep in mind about this is that the way it's written is that if you haven't logged on in 3 years, the day the clock strikes midnight and it's 3 years, they don't just delete your content. What happens is they have to legally notify you first that, hey, you haven't logged in your thing in over 3 years, according to our terms of service. And on top of that, once you get notification, you will then be given a 6-month grace period. So again, I'm not saying that changes it. I'm just saying it's important when we discuss this to have all the information. Number one, this isn't something new. Number two, Xbox has this as well. And number three, it's not like, oh, I just forgot about my PlayStation account and they just snuck in behind my back and deleted it. No, they will give notification to you about it. And then once notification is given, you got 6 months to kind of log in and all that kind of stuff. Again, I'm not saying that changes anything, but we at least should be addressing it fairly. Okay. That being said, this is just another straw on the proverbial camel's back. Do I think this is a particularly huge deal? I actually don't think this specific issue of after 3 years of inactivity, you'll get a notification. After the notification, if you still haven't logged in after 6 months after that, they delete your stuff. Do I think they should do that? No. Do I think it's a massive issue? Also no, because if you just got to log in. I mean, if you haven't logged in after 3 years and then they notify you to remind you and 6 more months pass and you still don't log in, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. It's clearly not that important to you, but I still don't think they should be able to do it. So I think it's a smaller issue, but it's a smaller issue that is now being piled up on top of an ever-growing pile of issues that we have here. Between the fact that they're deleting content that you bought and now saying they're moving towards a system where that's the only option you're ever going to have, and now saying that, hey, yeah, you may have bought it, but listen, to me, whether I log in after 3 years or not, I still bought the damn movie from you. I still paid you $19.99 or $29.99 or $15.99 or whatever. I paid that to you. It's mine. Whether I log in or not is none of your damn business. I bought it. I bought it. Again, I'm not trying to make a mountain out of a molehill. That's still another thing. I heard this analogy being given the other day, and I wanted to bring it up here. There is a saying that goes around online right now that's become very popular that says, if buying isn't owning,
then pirating isn't stealing.
Pirating isn't stealing. And while that is a very self-serving kind of flippant thing to say, there is truth to it. Because here's the analogy I heard somebody say the other day on YouTube, but they said this. This has happened. There are laws about this. It has happened many times where somebody buys a house, only then later to find out that person didn't have the right to sell the house to you in the first place. And when people do that, it's called fraud. And people go to jail when that happens. Sony, for a lot of the movies and TV shows they have on their platform, Sony does not own those movies or TV shows. They have a license to them. And yet they represent that they are selling those movies or TV shows to you. Now, I understand, well, in the terms of service, selling means this. I get it, but they represent to us that they are selling us this content. If we were talking about a house, they should go to jail for that, because they are selling something to you, like in the example of the Studio Canal stuff, that they don't own the stuff. They don't have the right to sell it to you because it's not theirs. And thus it gets taken away in a whiff. There needs to be laws. I said this the other day on the show. There needs to be consumer protection laws that protect us from stuff like this. But the idea of us buying a piece of content from them, and again, let me be clear. I've been collecting digital media for over a decade. Never happened to me once. Never happened to anybody I know personally either. But it is happening out there. And there are precedents being made that could lead to real problems if people don't start passing laws to protect people. Here's an option. All right, Sony, you want to sell me a movie? Okay, so you sell me, Obsession, now that it's out. Let's say I go into, PlayStation, I buy Obsession. Okay, fine. You want to sell that to me for $20? Fair enough. But if you ever take it away from me, you got to give me my money back. That doesn't seem far-fetched. I'd even be willing, as a consumer who understands that, hey, there are licensing issues, and if I want to use PlayStation as my platform to buy the movie, there could be some caveats. Okay, I'm even okay. And I don't know what you guys would think about this. Tell me what you think. If a my favorite third-party platform, whether it's Xbox, PlayStation, Roku, Apple TV, iTunes, whatever, you want to sell me a movie that doesn't belong to you? Okay. So here's the contract then. You add $1.99 to the price. So instead of $15, you charge me $16.99. Fair enough. That $1.99 is to give you a little something for administrative nightmares and costs and things like that. But if for whatever reason, the company that owns Obsession says they don't have a license with Sony anymore, and you take that movie away from me that you gave me, you have to pay me the $15 back. You can keep the $1.99 for the administrative costs and all that kind of stuff. I accept that, but you should pay me back, because this is the part that's killing me. The idea that I sold it to you and now I am taking it away. It's the same anger I get when I buy an expensive piece of gear and it doesn't function and the place refuses to do anything about it. Because that to me is the same thing. That to me is, you stole my money then. If you gave me a defective thing and you're not going to do anything to fix the problem, you stole that money from me. So again, the whole 3-year thing in and of itself, not a huge issue, because it's up to me if I don't want to log in for 3.5 years, even after they notify me. But it's still an issue to me, and they still shouldn't do it. And it's just another thing climbing on here. So anyway, Chris, I don't know if you're a PlayStation guy or an
Oh
Xbox.
yeah,
I got a PlayStation out there. I got a bunch of stuff on it. I don't buy my movies or TV shows on it, but I still have a bunch of stuff on it. I don't know. Is this a nothing burger? Is this yet just another symptom of a bigger disease? Big issue, small issue, and what are some of the dangers and pitfalls we see coming out of this? What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's like you were saying 6 months ago, I would have told you that's a nothing burger, little mini clause in there because you didn't think of it. But now people, like you said, are reading into these terms of service now because that is the future. That is where we're headed. And that's what the terms of service looks like now. Come January of 2028, they're probably going to update and tweak some of those things more because now that's going to be the standard. So it's like that's what it looks like now when the clause was minuscule, small, and like maybe only a few people affected. How is that going to grow and change? And, you're talking about all these licenses and things and ownership from other studios. I really hate to like suggest this, but to me, it only sounds like the solution is go Netflix with games and Sony runs their own thing where you just pay monthly. And then there you go. There's your excuse. You get to play your games as long as you have a subscription and things like that. I'm not saying that's what I would want, but there is going to be eventually some sort of pitfalls. There's going to be something, like you said, that breaks the camel's back where someone is going to be dumb enough or smart enough to sue or try to take action against us, even though it's a thing in the terms of service, because it is, you can't just sell something and then take it away when you want without any sort of repercussion. So there is going to have to be some sort of solution to this. And we're going to have to, I don't know about a law being made or not. I mean, we're seeing how slow these laws are coming up with AI, but that's also how fast things are changing with that. It's kind of hard to pinpoint something down. To me, it's sad, and it makes me more understanding now why people of my age are going back to their like PlayStation 2, buying one off Craigslist, and then because it's just popping in the game and I play it. There's just something less frustrating about that. It's more secure and I own it and no one can take it away from me.
Yeah. Like for those of you who watch our show for any period of time, like Rob and I specifically are very hardcore against piracy. I mean, again, we saw it directly affect somebody very close to us with John Schnepp and how people pirating his film very near, like without exaggeration, Rob, it very nearly destroyed him. It nearly ruined him financially and destroyed him and all that kind of stuff. So we see what piracy actually does. But going back to that little flippant, catchphrase, if buying isn't owning, then pirating isn't stealing. Listen, if you bought a movie for $20 or $10 or $15, whatever, on Sony, and then they suddenly sold it away, if not legally, then I think ethically and morally, you have a right to pirate that damn movie. I mean, because you fulfilled your end of the social contract. You bought it. You paid for it. And the system was constructed itself in such a way that allowed them to just take it away from you without reimbursing you the money you paid. And again, let me emphasize, I'm not saying legally it gives you the right, but I think morally and ethically, yeah, I believe at that point, damn right, you can pirate that. But I don't know, Rob, that maybe I'm just being overreacting to it. What do you think about this whole situation? What's standing out to you here?
Well, I mean, no, it seems like nobody wants us. The future of humanity is we're not going to ever own anything. And I think that's what people want. That's what the tech oligarchs really want from us, that we're in perpetual debt to constantly pay subscription prices or whatever, and we don't own anything. And I find that a little disconcerting because I like the idea of ownership. I mean, I had an example I think I brought up earlier where I had a piece of software that I bought 6 years ago that I used every day. And one day I came to use it and it had turned into a subscription model. And so the software I had on my computer was altered. It was an update downloaded, and suddenly in order to use this piece of software, I had to now pay a subscription. I had to pay either another $600 for the year.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Or a monthly fee. And I'm like, wait a minute, I already bought this piece of software. When I bought this piece of software, of course, to be fair, I didn't look into the terms of service. But all of a sudden, in order to continue to use it, I have to shell out more money. And that seemed very unfair, considering I bought this understanding that I was paying for a piece of software, a one-time fee. And then they went and altered that 6 years later. Well, how are you supposed to run a life if we have to worry wherever we're looking that we're going to constantly, oh, one day all these things I thought I bought are gone, or suddenly I've got to pay twice as much for the same thing? I get it. Everyone wants, it's late stage capitalism, and I am a capitalist. I get all that. But at the end of the day, how do you lead your life not knowing? You know, one day we all have to deal with the fact that one day we're going to wake up. I mean, it seems kind of silly. We're talking about PlayStation here, but
It's a canary in a coal mine, though.
You're exactly right. That's what it is. And the fact that PlayStation has such an installed, they can get away with it because they're that big. PlayStation's huge, and they're doing this. You know, you find this out just on the verge of Grand Theft Auto 6, probably the greatest, or it's certainly going to be one of the most popular video games of all time, but it's certainly the most expensive video game ever made. Sony got to figure out how they're going to pay for all this. So yeah, we're going to up our fees and change whatever we have to do to make some extra bucks. We need more coin for the realm. And I don't know, man.
I remember there was a situation, and I feel bad if I'm saying the wrong piece of software, but there was a video editing piece of software. I believe it was CapCut. And again, I might be thinking of the wrong piece, but there was a big kerfuffle about this last year because for a long time, I think it was CapCut, where you could buy a lifetime license to it. You bought a lifetime license to it, and it said, you know, you can get all free updates and all that kind of stuff, and you have a lifetime license for it. And then, like sometime last year, they introduced a new subscription model, and they killed everybody's lifetime purchase. No, you got to and it's like, you know, see, at that point, to me, pirate it. Like, just you bought it with a lifetime license, and they reneged. It's yours. You should just be able to pirate it. But I don't know. I'm sure this is not the last we're going to be able to have to talk about stuff like this. But anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? On top of everything else, from getting rid of physical discs to deleting, you know, TV shows and episodes and movies that they no longer have a license to, that you clicked a button that said purchase. And now this thing that says they can just go in and delete your account with all of your purchase content in an era, guys, where video games cost $80 to $100 to buy. They can just delete them if they want. I don't know. Whatever you guys think, jump down into the comments section below and let us know your thoughts. By the way, I see somebody in live chat saying, John, no talk about House of the Dragon. We just had too much stuff to talk about. We'll probably talk about House of the Dragon tomorrow.
But oh my God, John.
Oh my God. I loved the episode of House of the Dragon so much, but we'll talk about it tomorrow.